I've always loved the outdoors. I enjoy hiking, camping, and biking in the woods. But there's one place I've always avoided, Lee Woods. I've heard stories about Lee Woods for years. It's said to be haunted by the ghosts of those who have died there, including suicides and murder victims. Some people even say that the woods are cursed. I never believed the stories until I went there myself. I was biking in the woods one day when I got lost. I wandered around for hours, trying to find my way back to the trail, but I only got more and more lost. As I was walking, I started to hear a woman crying. It sounded like she was coming from behind a tree. I went to investigate, but when I got to the tree, there was no one there. I heard the crying again, this time coming from across the river. I looked, but again, there was no one there. I was starting to get scared. I felt like I was being watched. I turned to go back the way I came, but I heard the crying again, this time right behind me. I spun around, but there was still no one there. I was starting to panic. I didn't know what to do. Then, I heard the crying again, and this time it was getting closer. I could hear footsteps, too. I knew I had to run. I turned and sprinted down the trail, but the footsteps were getting closer. I could hear the woman's crying getting louder. I was running as fast as I could, but the footsteps were gaining on me. I could feel the woman's breath on my neck. I could see the car park in the distance. I was almost there. I put on a final burst of speed and burst out of the woods. I ran to my bike and jumped on, pedaling as fast as I could. I didn't look back. I just kept pedaling until I got to the main road. I didn't stop pedaling until I was safe at home. I've never been back to Lee Woods since that day. I still don't know what I saw or heard, but I know I'll never forget it. I'm not sure if I believe in ghosts, but I do believe that Lee Woods is a dangerous place. I would never recommend going there, especially alone. I've always been fascinated by unsolved mysteries. There's something about a case that's never been solved that just draws me in. I guess it's the hope that one day, the truth will finally be revealed. One case that's always stuck with me is the story of the unidentified remains of a man found in Mortling Cemetery in Albertville, Alabama. The body was discovered on May 15, 1977, and it had been brutally murdered. The victim's throat had been slashed, his torso had been covered in yellow latex paint, and he had been stabbed multiple times. His fingerprints had also been burned off, making it impossible to identify him. The case went cold for years, but in 2007, a new lead emerged. A man named Dean Kellum came forward and said he believed the body was that of his brother, Bobby Kellum, who had gone missing in 1977. Bobby had been 18 years old at the time of his disappearance, and he had been dating a 17-year-old girl whose father, Dit Thrash, was a local police officer. Dean Kellum said that Bobby had told him he was going to run away with the girl, and he believed that Dit Thrash had killed him in a fit of rage. This theory was supported by the fact that Thrash had been seen arguing with Bobby on the day of his disappearance. In 2007, DNA tests confirmed that the body in Mortling Cemetery was indeed that of Bobby Kellum. However, no charges were ever filed against Dit Thrash, who died in 2005. The other two men who were present at the murder, Brooks and Barnes, also died before they could be brought to justice. I've always been a bit sensitive to the paranormal. I've had premonitions and experienced strange things my whole life. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened when we moved into our new house in 2019. At first, it was just small things. We'd hear footsteps in the attic or the basement, even though no one was there. Sometimes, I'd feel like someone was watching me. But then, the things started to get worse. One night, I woke up to my husband yelling at me to call the cops. He said there was a man standing in our living room. We searched the house, but we couldn't find anyone. The next day, my oldest daughter told me she had seen a girl in her room. She said the girl had long, dark hair and was wearing a white dress. My husband and I didn't believe her at first, but then my youngest daughter said she had seen the same girl. After that, the sightings became more frequent. We'd see the girl in the hallway, the kitchen, and even the bathroom. One time, I was washing dishes in the kitchen when I saw a black figure pass by me. It was so fast that I barely had time to react. I was starting to get scared. I didn't know what was happening in our house, but I knew it wasn't good. I tried to contact a paranormal group, but they couldn't help me. I even talked to a Native American medium, who told me that the spirits of my deceased father, grandfather, and old boyfriend were haunting our house. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to live in my own home. I'm afraid of what might happen next. But I know I can't give up. I have to find a way to get rid of these spirits before it's too late.